Hi guys, I'm Steph Ronaldo, lifestyle entertainment and food reporter for Rappler. And for today's Let's Talk Food episode, we will not just be talking about food, we will be cooking it. And today I have a special guest with me. His name is Sharwin Tee, chef, cookbook author, and TV host. And we will be doing a recipe from his new cookbook called The Gospel of Food, just in time for its launch. So I will be attempting to make his recipe of kimchi pancakes. So this is something I've never tried before or eaten before, actually. But I like kimchi and I like pancakes, so why not? So I hope you learned something today because I most definitely will try to. And let's get cooking. Game.
Contained in the Gospel of Food is, of course, my anecdotes from eating around the world, but it also contains over 40 very easy to do recipes. And today we are going to do one wherein I will give instructions to Steph and then she will make the dish herself. So definitely no help from me. All right, are we
And
ready?
this disclaimer also, I didn't really study the recipe beforehand, so this will be a challenge. I've never really had somebody tell me how to cook something just, like this before. So, okay, I'm ready. Yeah.
Well, let me just say that I've only done this once, instruct somebody over Zoom, and I'm
Mm-mm.
still not sure how it went. So I'm
Okay lang.
also equally nervous. All right, so
Okay.
today we're going to make kimchi pancake. So, Steph, have you
Yes.
ever had kimchi John or kimchi pancakes before?
No, I've had kimchi. I've had pancakes, but I haven't had them together. But I could see how it would work. So I'm excited to try it. 'Cause I love kimchi.
All
Yeah.
right. So this is actually one of those panchan that's served for free when you eat in Korean restaurants. Actually, one of my favorite restaurants does that. And that's where I started to realize that putting kimchi in pancakes is really, really good. So
Mm-mm.
this recipe is like my super simplified version. So I'm sure there are better versions out there. So should we start?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So for the ingredients, you're gonna need 230 grams of kimchi.
Side note, when I cook, I'm not very measurement
Ah,
specific,
yes, no problem.
but is this all right? Does this look like 230 grams?
Actually, it looks
Chopped,
like a
right?
lot. Yeah,
It
just
looks like a
chopped
lot.
kimchi.
Oh,
You don't have to
okay.
put everything in. Let's say three
All right.
fourths of that,
Oh my
and then
God.
you're gonna
Math.
need half a cup of all-purpose flour.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
combining it in one bowl, right?
yes.
Okay. So we have the chopped kimchi. I bought this from a Korean mart, so I believe it's authentic. Um, so three fourths.
So actually, if you learn how to make kimchi, it's not that difficult. But the problem is, it's so tedious. And then if you're the only
Mm,
one eating it at home, you'll end up, making one
yeah.
recipe of kimchi and eating it for the next 2 years.
So
So,
at least this is a way to make use of leftover kimchi, right?
yes, definitely. Um, Korean
Okay. And
Korean
then,
cuisine is filled with all of that kinds of recipes using up leftover kimchi. Okay, so you have
mm,
the kimchi there. Let's add in 1/2 cup of flour.
okay, perfect. This is 1/2 cup.
Yes,
Okay.
just drop that in. And then, have you tasted the kimchi? Is it salty?
It's what I like, tangy, salty, and spicy. It's not the
Oh,
sweet kind.
okay,
So,
that's
yeah.
good. So you can add just maybe a pinch or two of salt. You have any?
Okay. So I have my salt
Yes.
here. Okay. Pepper?
Pepper, if you want, it's not really important because usually the kimchi is a little spicy already.
Okay.
See, I like how
Okay.
Steph is seasoning. That's how you should season, using your fingers. Kasi
Why? How
if you
else
try to
would
use
you see
spoons, teaspoons, ganyan, you'll always over season.
over
Yeah.
season? Okay.
Even if the recipe calls for a half teaspoon, and then you get a literal half teaspoon, for some
It's
reason
too
it's
much.
too much. Yeah. So it's
Oh,
always
noted.
better to
Okay.
pinch. All right. And then
Okay.
you're going to need about half a cup of cold water.
Yeah.
But don't add all of it. Just add a little bit at a time until you get um, like a batter that is just thick enough to cover your finger.
Then I'll mix
Yes. And basically, what you're gonna get is like a thin batter, almost like
these.
a crepe. So if it's
Oh,
still pasty, you should add a little bit of
more
water.
water. Yep, it's
Um,
pasty. Okay,
so for the
adding
recipe,
more.
we have half a cup of cold water, but um, what I normally ask people to do is to just add water a little bit at a time because sometimes the um, if the day is a little bit more humid, you need less water and things like that.
It's humid, but it looks like it needs more water.
Okay, you can go ahead and add. No? I can see the top of your batter.
Ah,
It looks thick.
it's a
So,
bit thick.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you should add
More.
all of it.
Okay,
Yay.
hold on. Oh no, I think it's too watery now.
Does it just mix it
It's
and then dip your pinky finger
okay.
and
Wait, I think I put too much
ah,
water.
no problem. You can add more
Can I
flour.
get more flour? Wait.
Yes. So
Um,
this is why this recipe is foolproof. Um, I find that you can always adjust the water or the flour until you get the perfect texture that you like.
Consistency. Okay, so I think it's thickening. So while I'm mixing, could could you tell us like this new book of yours? Was it a project in lockdown? Like as a chef and as a TV host, were you also affected by the quarantine? Like how are you dealing at home?
So yeah, I think as with any person working in an industry that's related to food and beverage, lockdown has really been a killer. Um, and but for me, this book is really 2 years in the making. Uh, so lockdown afforded me the chance to actually really finalize this work,
Special.
really edit and write up the recipes. So a lot of the recipes were finalized during the lockdown because I'm really bad with amounts. So I always just dump things in, and then when I have to
Yeah,
write,
same.
I have to figure it out. So I work
So
backwards.
you have to with every recipe you have to try it at least how many times like till,
Um,
so until it's developed.
so some recipes just come to you and then the amounts just come perfectly. Some you have to go as many as 4 to 5 times. Um, and there are recipes that took me years to develop. So that's also something different. But those are the more complicated recipes. In this book, usually it
Okay.
takes about 2 to 3 tries to get it really, really perfect.
Okay. So can I do a batter check?
All right.
Is that
Yes,
too liquidy?
that looks good. What I usually do is I dunk my pinky finger in
And then
and then check your finger. If it covers your finger lightly, you're good.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it
can't eat
should
this.
be good.
What
Don't
do I
eat
do?
it.
Wait. I'll get the tissue. Okay. Okay,
All
good.
right. So we can start cooking. So this is the only thing that's a little bit special about making this pancake. You add a little bit more oil than you would a normal crepe or Western pancake, right? So you want
Why is that?
one of the things about the Korean pancake is you like the crunchy um, texture on the outside because usually it's a little
Mm,
chewy on the inside.
yeah.
So you'll need a little bit more oil so you can actually shallow fry the pancake so you can get that crunchy texture.
I see, I see. Okay.
All right, so go
All
ahead,
right.
add in some oil. Um,
Wait, should I heat the pan first?
no, go ahead, add the oil first.
Okay. So,
All right, heat it up.
cover the pan. Okay. Medium heat,
Yeah, let's
low.
do medium.
Okay. I think that's good.
All right, we're gonna be ready to cook.
The title of your book is Gospel of Food. What does that mean? I guess what is your Gospel of Food?
I really wrestled with this title because I know for a lot of believers, the gospel is such an important word to Catholics, to Christians. So I didn't want to take it for granted. No? But, you know, the gospel actually means good news.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, these stories that I impart are good stories. They're good news stories of people's history, of people's success through food. And the other thing is, you know, the I hate to go to a theology lesson, but gospels were not technically written by these gospel writers. They were actually inspired by God.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's similar here, where I wrote these stories, but these are not my stories. I was inspired by other people's stories. So in a way, it's like a gospel, in that I was the one who wrote it, but these stories were inspired by other people and not by me.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I think the oil is pretty hot. Nah.
Okay, go ahead and use the spoon and drop about uh, maybe half or a third of the batter.
Just take this a spoonful.
No, a lot. Maybe two to
Oh,
three.
this is
Tablespoons.
this is
If you have a bigger
oh,
if you have a bigger ladle, you can use that.
yeah, I have to get the ladle. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, here.
Yeah. So about
Yes.
2 spoonfuls of that, I think. Just enough to cover the surface of the pan.
Sizzling. It's quite bubbly. Is that
Right.
normal?
Yes. Because of the oil. So
All right.
has it spread around in a circle, the batter?
Not the most perfect circle,
That's
but
okay. That's okay. As long as it's
a
circlish
blob. Yeah. Circlish.
and
Uh,
thin. So make sure to pat down the middle to keep it thin.
okay. Patting down the middle to keep it thin.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
after a while, you can check the sides just to make sure it's not sticking or burning.
Drop some batter. Okay. So just like push it around like so.
Uh huh.
It's not sticking actually. It's kind of floating. Is that
That's
how
good.
it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, do I pour the juice at any point?
The
Like the
kimchi
leftover
juice.
kimchi juice?
You
Yeah,
can
can
you can
I?
add it to the batter actually.
To the
Um,
one that's cooking already?
well, you can add a little bit there,
Why not?
just a little bit, not too
Okay.
much. Yeah, and then you can add a little bit to the rest of the other batter,
Oh, yes.
but not too much.
Okay.
So kimchi juice is actually an ingredient in Korean cuisine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you can
like
buy
they
it like
no,
in a
you can't.
jar.
But you
Oh,
can't. But it comes with every kimchi. So they always make sure to tell you like, oh, don't forget to add a little bit of the juice when you make kimchi fried rice, when you make
ah,
the army Korean army stew, with the kimchi pancakes. They always mention that the liquid should be included as well because a lot of the
what do
flavor is there.
you? Or yeah, so I love it. What do you think is the equivalent of kimchi to Philippine cuisine?
In terms of what it is, I think that bagoong or buro would be the closest thing, no?
Hmm.
But in terms of application, because kimchi is in almost every table and every meal in
Household.
Korea, I guess
Yeah,
uh, rice is our equivalent because we have rice in every single table and in every
that's true.
and it's almost like an ingredient in everything.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, in terms of fermented and with different versions in every region, I think bagoong or buro. Probably
Mm.
buro is closer because depends on what region you are. They pickle and they
Yes, I love
ferment different
buro,
things, right? So
Pampanga.
actually, even our bagoong is the same. No, you have a more liquidy bagoong up north, and then you have a more solid bagoong in the Negros
Mm.
region, right? So it depends on what region you are, and same with
Oh.
kimchi. There's always a different region.
Ah, they
Different
make it
prep-
differently per region. I see.
How
There
are
are
your
some
pancakes?
sweeter. Oh, how are my
Um,
pancakes? Right. I
yes.
forgot. Okay. They're, they seem to be crisp on the underside. Not like crisp, but not like brown.
Okay, you
Should
can
they
leave
be
it. You
brown?
can keep it brown, or if you're satisfied with the crunchiness, you can flip it over.
I'll let it brown a bit. So I guess the purpose of this cooking demo is to show that cooking doesn't have to be difficult or like a hassle right now since most people have resorted to cooking instead of like buying takeout or eating out.
This recipe is actually part of the Hong Kong chapter, stories I picked up from Hong
Mm.
Kong. And the biggest lesson there is really you can make a great dish with just 5 ingredients or less. Um, and, this is the perfect example. We literally use 5 ingredients. And, uh,
Yeah.
and it looks like a
And
dish that
they're
took you all day to make, right?
and they're not that hard to find, the ingredients. I mean, relative. Well, the rest, the kimchi, most supermarkets have them already at hand. Or you could make your own if you have the energy. I think that's good.
All right, let's flip it.
Do I have to flip it with the pan?
Go ahead. Do you
No,
want to
wait, but
try?
there's oil. That's dangerous, right?
You can use your
I'm gonna,
spatula if you're nervous.
yeah. Um, I might flip out if this flips. Okay. Oh my God. Ooh.
Share. So
Okay.
my forever cooking tip for people when they flip things is it should be like love. There has to be commitment, right?
Oh, okay. And I kind of like was hesitant to flip it in between. It almost fell out of the pan, but I
Correct,
still caught
correct.
it
That's why you need
because it's worth
commitment.
it. Yeah. So you better be worth it. Okay. Okay. No, I can't show you what it looks like, but
But
that's all right. It's a bit yellowy.
it should be good in about a minute or two.
Okay.
It's mostly cooked now on the other side. And you might want to try another one.
Oh, with the same pan. I only have one pan.
Yeah, yeah, with the same pan. I mean, like after you remove that, if you want to cook
Ah,
another one.
yeah, yeah. Sige, sure, sure. So like, where do you um get your recipes inspiration? Like, where do you get inspiration for the recipes that you make? Is it mostly because of your travels? Is it childhood comfort food? Like, what is it?
For me, well, because part of my work is research and development for brands, so sometimes I create recipes based on limitations. So certain brands
Mm-hmm.
will say like, I need you to use this, and then avoid using that, and then blah blah. Blah. So that brings actually more inspiration. The more limitations you give me, the more inspiration I get. Um,
Yeah.
and then sometimes when I have writer's block, I go to the supermarket, I walk down the aisles and just watch whatever is on the shelves. And sometimes inspiration comes to me that way. But
Oh,
the
that's a fun
weirdest
thing.
way is I dream of recipes. so,
Mm,
so never go to bed hungry is not a good piece of advice. Sometimes you go to bed
yeah.
hungry, you start dreaming of dishes, and then when I wake up, I have to quickly write it down
Like a
before.
dream journal, but a recipe journal,
I guess
I
that's what they
guess.
call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like they also get challenged. Like, I know people who just look at their fridge and then that's the only time they decide what to cook for dinner. Right? It's like a puzzle. Like it's about being resourceful and then I guess.
And for me, that's really what farm to table is. People think that
Yeah.
farm to table is this very modern buzzword, but actually, farm to
Right.
table is really a very Pinoy thing, which is what do we have today? Anong meron? And
Yeah.
then that's it. That's what we cook. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
set
true.
out and say, I want to cook a chicken pork adobo today. We check the fridge. If there's chicken and there's pork, we make chicken pork adobo. If not, if there's
Mm-hmm.
only kangkong, we make kangkong adobo. If there's only squid, we make squid adobo. So for me, that's what real farm to table, what real Filipino cuisine is all about. Just
Cuisine
open your
is.
cupboards, open your fridge, check your garden, then decide what you want.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I never really thought of it that way. Like I admit, I thought farm to table meant like it's a buzzword for organic, like it has to be, the eggs picked from your own chicken and all that. But
Well, it's better if
well, pwede
it's
din,
natural.
yeah.
Yeah,
But not everybody has their own chicken. Anyway,
that's
okay.
true.
And it's looking quite brown at the bottom.
Okay,
Should I do
I
a
think you're ready. I think you can take that out.
flip it onto the plate?
Whichever side you're happier with, that's the one. That's the side you
Yeah, I
show.
think I'm. Yep. Okay.
There.
Let me show you that.
That looks good.
There's like
See?
green because I included the greens in the kimchi.
Yeah. See, that looks
Okay.
good.
Yeah, let's make another. One last.
Go ahead.
I think I can reuse the oil. Still enough.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
this
So,
batter should be better because you added the kimchi liquid already.
yeah. So this has.
It's always
Okay.
satisfying to hear that sizzle sound
The sizzle.
when your batter drops in, right? Like, oh, now I'm really cooking.
Yeah, it's an affirmation that I need. The shape is not that beautiful, but okay. We
So
will love it
usually when you want the
regardless.
perfect circle, what you want to do is just drop the batter in one place and then let the natural movement flow out from it. Um,
Uh,
so the same way you do with pancakes with sauces. Um, you don't always get the perfect circle, but usually nature handles it really, really
runs its course. Yeah.
well.
Okay. So flatten. I don't really make pancakes a lot, so It takes practice, I guess, to get the perfect shape if you're perfectionist about it.
Definitely.
Okay, so
So how do you find this recipe so far?
I like it. It's easier, easier than I thought. Let's check the
Well,
pan.
there's less oil now. Do you want to flip it?
Oh, right. Wait, if it's less oil, does it mean that it will burn quicker? Not burn,
No
brown
naman.
quicker?
The color is a little less even lang, but not should be okay. See, you're using a really good non-stick pan, so this is the perfect time to try to flip.
Yeah. Let's give it 10 more seconds. So if we were gonna do a Filipino dish that required only 5 steps, as simple as this, what do you think? What would be?
Well, when I'm really lazy, I slice like really thin slices of liempo, fry that up with garlic and bagoong, and
Oh,
touch of sugar. That's it. That's less than 5 ingredients. Put that on rice.
rice?
Um, it's ultimate, right? Like
Wow.
that requires no thinking at all. You just put pork, bagoong, garlic, oil, and then you put it on top of rice. That's it.
Right. Oh, and uh, you do have meat dishes in your recipe book, but out of you suggested the vegetarian ones to me, right? Because I don't eat meat anymore. Just for
See,
like
you're that special that I actually recommended a vegetarian dish instead of a meat
and I
filled.
think yeah, it would benefit a lot of people as well who are looking to eat a bit more veggies in
Yeah, actually, I
their
made sure with the recipes that I had a good number of vegetarian or vegetable forward dishes because I know that that's really how people want to eat nowadays. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so it's not that I'm turning my back on meat. I just recognize that hey, some dishes are delicious without meat, so why not put them in the book? So there's actually a
Yes.
vegetarian hot and sour soup that's really, really good.
Oh, I love
Um,
hot and sour soup.
so
So
flip it without the spatula. Woo.
ah
Okay,
oh
so
no, I don't think so.
no, here's how it'll go. Just hold the pan, um, and then what you do is you push it forward, and then stop immediately,
Push the pan forward and stop.
and then stop immediately. And then
Okay. Oh my god.
but push it forward and upward a little bit and then stop immediately, and then that's it. That's all you have to do.
Oh snap.
Just do it,
Wait.
just do the stop more abruptly, and then it will flip by itself.
Oh my gosh.
See, go go go.
Oh, I'm scared that the oil is. Oh my wait. I did it! I did it!
There.
I did
Woo!
it!
I told you.
Stuck in
Excellent.
brown.
Such a great
Nice.
Padawan learner.
Yeah.
The force is strong with you.
Yes. Thank you, Pancake. Commitment is the key.
Yes.
Can't, yeah.
Like I
Don't
always say
let
in my
go.
cooking demos, parang love lang yan. Kailangan lang ng commitment.
You just gotta push and know when to stop. Okay.
All right. Well,
All right.
I'm excited to find out what you think it tastes like. So let me know.
I think some of the oil ended up on the flame when I flipped,
That's
and
part of
it's
the show.
okay. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. They can. Yeah, it's part of the showmanship. Chefany. Yeah, that's
See,
my
that's
alter.
your new
That's my
handle now.
name.
That's your
That's my
new
name in the
handle,
kitchen.
Chefany.
Chefany. Okay, a little bit more brown on the bottom, but there's hardly any oil now. That's all right.
Yeah,
There's
because
no oil.
The kimchi pancake actually takes in the oil. That's what makes it crunch.
Mm. Any kind of oil that you recommend? I use canola oil for this type
Yeah,
of
any
thing.
vegetable oil is good. I think that if you get any stronger flavored oil, it takes over the flavor too much.
Mm. Like olive oil and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
or bacon fat or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay to like lightly press
Yeah,
on it a bit.
actually, you might get better coloring if you do that.
Okay. And you don't serve this with syrup, right? Or
No, no,
anything.
no. But you can serve this with like a soy sauce vinegar sauce if you like.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
The yeah, yeah. What do you call that?
Sausawan.
Somehow that really good stuff. Okay.
Or you can also pair it with your Korean barbecue, right? If you're not into lettuce,
Yes.
you can do that. Yeah.
For samgyup feast at home, you
Yes,
can serve
absolutely.
this. Yeah. Okay, I think this is good.
All right. You can shut off the heat and we can try.
Let me put this in a plate. Okay. So we will try. Uh, let me try to show you what happened. Sorry, it
See,
looks
it
like a
looks good.
brain.
But it looks good. It has the crunchy bits. The best part of the
Yeah,
pancake is the crunchy bits. So if
on the
you've got
side. Yeah.
yeah, if you've got lots of it, then you did a good job.
So, like, what's the secret for getting the bits?
So
The crunchy bits.
some people when they first try to make the kimchi jjigae, the mistake that they do is they add very little oil to the pan, and that really makes it softer. No, so you do need a little bit more oil than you think you would need.
Right.
So usually when you make a Western pancake, like a breakfast pancake, you add very little oil because too much will affect the color. So people don't
Mm.
add too much. But this is reverse naman. You add more so that you can get the crunchy bits.
And it's better if the oil is already bubbling before you put it in.
Not super hot, but definitely hot, right? Because if it's
Okay.
too cold naman, too much oil will go into your pancake.
Fine. Let's try it.
Yay. I'm excited for you to try it. I'm also a little bit
Let's
nervous.
hear,
I hope you like it.
let's hear the crunch. It's a good one, I guess.
Excellent. Excellent work. I'm so proud.
Thank you. Me too. Okay. This kind of reminds me of like okonomiyaki. Tama ba?
A
The
crunchier
Japanese. A crunchier version, yeah.
version.
So here, it's really hot. Wait, I'm
Oh,
gonna
don't
take a
burn
bite.
yourself.
I'm gonna take a bite of the earlier pancake I made.
Okay.
It was fresh off the pan, my mistake. Oh, it's really hot on the inside. So okay, at first glance, it's really crispy, crunchy on the outside, but when you get into the middle, it's actually pretty soft
Mhm.
or chewy, like you mentioned. So yeah.
See, and you can even hear the crunch. No? So I know you did
Right,
it right.
ASMR. Mm. Is that disturbing? Sorry. You can
No.
hear me too.
How, go,
But
how do you
okay,
like it?
off the bat, I like it. It's a savory pancake, but but I actually like the texture better because um, I don't know if you know like a funnel cake. You know
Mhm.
those desserts. Like it's really crunchy on the outside, really soft dough on the inside. It's kind of what it reminds me of, and it just tastes like if you'd put kimchi on bread, which I do with cheese. I make kimchi grilled cheese. Which oh my gosh, you could add cheese
Yes,
if
you
you
can
want.
add cheese to the
Yeah.
batter. You just have to be a
Yeah.
little bit more careful because it'll brown faster
Salty.
with the cheese.
Oh, and right. Yeah.
But yeah, you can. So what I love about this recipe is this is your ultimate starter recipe, and then you can begin by adding all of your other favorite ingredients. You can add bacon, you can add cheese, you can add pork, fish, whatever you want, and it'll work.
Mm, good. I like it because you also get bits because it's chewy because of the flour, but you also get the crunchy bits of the kimchi, the cabbage if you use the cabbage, and it's the way I like my kimchi to taste, which is salty and tangy, a little bit tangy. Yeah, so I actually could have put in more juice if I wanted it more tangy. Is that all
Yes.
right? Or spicy? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So it's like a recipe that you can just experiment on your own.
Yes.
And
The perfect thing is like the amounts don't matter as much. Um, and you can always make your first pancake, see what else you want to add, then add it to the batter for your next pancake. So this is
yeah,
really one of those
which
starter recipes. Yeah.
which I just had now, a light bulb. We could add a little cheese or some more spice if that's what you want. Or keep on eating.
No, that's a good sign. Thank you so much, Steph, for joining me with this cook along for my book launch. Um, and hopefully, you get to try all of the other recipes as well. Just let me know how they
Yes.
turn out. And if you have any issues, you can always let me know. Um, but,
Thank you. Yeah.
but rest assured, these recipes have been tried, they've been tested, and they've been loved. So
They
thank you
have
so
been tried and they have been tested and it's good. And thank you so much for having me. It's super fun to cook along with you. So we've had our kimchi pancakes. See, hear that crunch? Nice. Actually, so that's all for today, folks. And thank you for joining me in my attempt to make kimchi pancakes by Chef Sharwin Tee. And the great thing, I guess, about this recipe is it's customizable. You can add as many ingredients as you want, depending on how you want it to taste. You can get creative with it, and you can eat it either for lunch, dinner, as a side dish, whatever. So, thank you if you did reach the end of my cooking demo. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed and learned something today. And that's it for today's Let's Talk Food. Well, Let's Cook Food episode. And again, I am Steph Ronaldo, lifestyle, entertainment, and food reporter for Rappler. Until next time, thank you.